Welcome back to week 9. Last week, we talked about how to plan a trip when you're burned out, how to simplify the process, reduce decision fatigue, and make planning feel doable again. This week, we're taking that clarity and turning it into something even more powerful, a step-by-step trip planning system for people who don't know where to start. Because let's be honest, most travelers don't struggle with travel. They struggle with starting. They struggle with picking dates, picking a destination, picking a budget, picking a resort, picking flights, picking activities. And when you don't know where to start, you just end up doing what everyone does. You open 15 tabs, you scroll TikTok, you watch YouTube videos, you check Google Flights, you close everything. You say, I'll plan it later. And then you don't. So, week 9 is all about giving you a simple, beginner friendly system that takes you from I don't know where to start to my trip is fully planned. This is the system I used as a DIY traveler and I still use. It's the system I use now as a travel advisor. And it's the system that works for everyone, every traveler, no matter your budget, your style, or your experience level. So let's get into it. So, here's the truth. Most people think planning a trip is one big task, but it's not. It's 5 small tasks. The overwhelm comes from trying to do everything at once. People try to pick a destination, compare flights, compare resorts, look at weather, check prices, research activities, plan transportation, figure out logistics, all in one sitting. That's why people get stuck. That's why people procrastinate. That's why people say, I want to travel, but never actually book anything. Travel planning feels overwhelming because you're trying to do too much at once. But when you break it down into 5 simple steps, everything becomes clear. You stop feeling confused. You stop feeling stuck. You stop feeling like you need to be an expert. You finally feel like you can do this. Week 9 is where trip planning becomes simple. This week is all about learning the 5-step trip planning system, the beginner-friendly method that takes you from I don't know where to start to my trip is booked. Let's break it down. Step 1, pick your travel window. This is the foundation of your entire trip. Most people try to pick a destination first, but that's backwards. Your dates determine your weather, your prices, your flight options, your resort options, your experience. So instead of picking a destination, pick a travel window. Sometime in March, late April, first week of June, any weekend in October. All of these are good examples for a window because a window is easier than exact dates and it gives you flexibility. Once you have your window, everything else becomes clearer. Step 2, pick your budget range. Not your exact budget, your range. Most travelers don't know their exact budget, but everyone knows their comfort zone. Here are some examples. I want to stay under $1,500. I'm comfortable around $2,000. I want something cheap, under $1,000. I want something nice, around $3,000. Your budget range determines which destinations make sense, determines which resorts fit your style, also determines which flights are realistic. Because budget is not about restriction, it's about direction. Step 3. Pick your travel style. This is where your trip becomes personal. Your travel style determines your destination. Are you a beach person? Are you an adventure person? Are you a nightlife person? Do you prioritize a cultural experience? Are you a foodie? Are you a relaxation person? Your travel style is the filter that removes 90% of the options. If you want relaxation, you don't need to look at big cities. If you want culture, you don't need to look at all-inclusives. If you want nightlife, you don't need to look at quiet islands. Travel style equals clarity. Step 4. Pick your top 2 destinations. Not 10, not 7, not 5, 2. This is the same method we used in week 7 because it works. 2 destinations is enough to compare. 2 destinations is enough to choose. 2 destinations is enough to avoid overwhelm. Here are some examples. Mexico versus Jamaica. Aruba versus St. Lucia. Greece versus Italy. Costa Rica versus Hawaii. Or Vegas versus Miami. Once you have your top 2, you compare them using the big 5. Budget, travel style, weather, logistics, and experience. The winner becomes obvious. Step 5. Book the core 3. Once you pick your destination, you only need to book 3 things. 1. Flights. 2. Stay. 3. Transportation, if needed. That's it. Everything else, activities, restaurants, excursions, can be planned later. The core 3 lock in your trip. They make it real. They give you momentum. Once the core 3 are booked, the rest becomes fun instead of stressful. When you use the 5-step trip planning system, everything changes. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop feeling stuck. You stop feeling like you need to be an expert. You stop procrastinating. You stop second guessing yourself. Instead, you plan with clarity. You plan with confidence. You plan with direction. You plan with ease. This system works whether you're planning a solo trip, a couple's trip, a girl's trip, a family trip, a budget trip, a luxury trip, because it works and it's simple. It works because it's structured. It works because it removes the chaos. And if you ever decide to become a travel advisor, this system becomes one of your most valuable tools, like I've said before, because most travelers don't need more information. They need a clear starting point. That's what week 9 gives them. So that's week 9, the week where you finally learn how to plan a trip from start to finish without getting overwhelmed, confused, or stuck. If you want help using the 5-step method for your next trip, drop your travel window, your budget range, and your travel style below. I can help you pick your top 2 destinations and walk you through the core 3. And if you're enjoying this series, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to travel but doesn't know where to start. I'll see you in week 10.